Hi guys, this is Alicia Chilled Out, and today I'm going to be talking to you just a little bit about why your products might not be selling on Etsy. Just a little background, I sold on Etsy for about a year, and if you watch my previous video, you'll know that I'm no longer on the platform because I just didn't really like it. But during my time on Etsy, I did manage to sell over 800 plus items. And today I thought it'd be a really good idea just to explain a couple of reasons why your products might not be selling. I'm no Etsy guru or anything like that. I'm not here to tell you that, if you do all these things, you're gonna get thousands and thousands of sales. But these are just some things that you can do right now to help boost your probability of getting sales. And in this video, I'm not gonna be talking about SEO and all those more technical things that people talk about. Some of these things may be harder for people to understand, especially if you're a beginner store. These are just some things that you can fix right now within the next couple of days that can possibly help boost the sales to your store. Okay, one of the reasons why your products might not be selling is because your pictures are really, really poor. It doesn't matter how good your product is. If your pictures are blurry, if they're not well lit, nobody is going to click on them. So that's one problem you could fix right now if you just take better pictures of your products. And I'm not saying this is going to boost all of your sales, but it's going to make people want to click on your item. So another reason why your product might not be selling on Etsy is because you are selling a product that has a really high demand, but there is no unique selling point to your product. And when I say this, I mean there is nothing really different about your items that they can't get from another store that's already established. You have to give the consumer a reason to click on your items opposed to another person's in another stores. There has to be something special or something different that makes your product stand out compared to someone else's. That's all I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be like something super amazing. It just has to be something that makes your items different from everything that's out there. Just to give you another example, I used to sell wax melts on Etsy, and when I first started, my wax melts looked like every other person's wax melts on Etsy. There was nothing really special about them, but in my mind I thought, yeah, these are going to sell. These are definitely going to sell, because I thought that they were good enough for people to buy. But nobody was really clicking on my products, and it was because there was nothing special about them. They looked exactly the same as everyone else's. So this is when I had to really take a step back and think about ways that I could make myself unique. And that's when I came up with the whole bakery style. And once I started doing that, I noticed that there were more clicks on my page, more sales, the sales started to go up. It was just one of those things. You just have to find something just a little bit different that makes you stand out. Another reason why your products might not be selling is because your items are way, way too expensive. And you have to keep in mind that your products have to be in range with everyone else's. Yes, you might be able to sell something that's vastly more expensive, but people are looking to get a good deal. Nobody is going to want to click on your items if they are vastly more expensive than everyone else's. Let's say you're selling candles again, like I was talking about, and everyone on Etsy is selling theirs roughly in the £5 to £10 range, just for example, and you're selling your candles for £50. People aren't going to want to buy that, or even maybe even 25. People aren't going to want to click on those items because they're going to start to wonder, why is your product more expensive? Like, why? That people want to get a good deal. Why do I have to click on your items when I can get something similar for cheaper? And I'm not saying that you can't sell items on Etsy that are super expensive. People sell items that are expensive on Etsy every single day, but you have to give the consumer a reason why those products are expensive. If you're looking to sell more luxury type stuff, there has to be description as to why those things cost more than, let's say, the average items that are selling that are similar to your products, but why your products are more expensive. Does that make sense? And on the flip side of that, another reason why your products might not be selling is because they're too cheap. People tend not to trust super cheap items on Etsy. They probably think that there's a quality issue, maybe the product's not really good. People won't really tend to click on things because it's super, super cheap. And yes, some people do buy super cheap items on Etsy, but I find that because it's mainly handmade stuff, yes, there is a lot of drop shipping and all that kind of stuff on Etsy, but if you're selling handmade stuff and it's super cheap, people will tend to question the quality. And that's what I found, that super cheap items tend not to sell on Etsy. That's just how it goes sometimes. Okay, another reason why your products might not be selling is because your shipping times are too long. Yes, I understand that you do have to take the time out to make your items if you are making handmade stuff, but sometimes those long shipping times can be off-putting to the consumer. So you have to find that like happy medium where you're able to make the items within your specific time, but also ship it to them so that they don't feel like they're waiting forever for these items. And sometimes this can be a bit hard to figure out because obviously you want to give them a good quality item, but ship it out to them as soon as possible. But I find that there are people that are willing to wait, but like in this day and age, people want their items like super quick. So if you can find, like I said, a middle ground between making your products and shipping them, you'll be fine. Another reason why your products might not be selling on Etsy is because your item's description is either non-existent or it's really, really poor. You have to be very specific with what you're selling on Etsy because that will ultimately help you get found. For instance, we've been talking about candles. If you just type in candle on Etsy, you're going to get thousands and thousands of items. But as you start getting more specific, those thousands of items are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And that will increase your chance of being found because you've put a bit more description in your items. For instance, if I put white candle, vanilla scented, 10 centimeters tall, perfect for a birthday gift, like you're going to get a smaller amount of items showing up and more of a chance of your items showing up compared to if you just type a candle, which will get your products featured on like page 200 versus within the first 3 or 4 pages. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the more specific you are, and if you have like searchable terms in your item's description that people will actually look for, then you're more likely to be found. People will click on your items, then increase your own sales. Okay, another reason why your products might not be selling is because you might not have a lot of listings on your store. I understand if you're a brand new store, it's very hard to get like, loads and loads of listings. But the more listings you have, the more chances you have to get found. Like you might have a product that like is a very high demand that, your products are lost on like page 150 or page 100. But then you might have another product that maybe is more niche and maybe only a select few are looking for, and they find your items and then they find your store and then they see the other items that you have. And that ultimately could lead to more sales because they've gone from that item to your store and then they see all the items that you have. Like, I think that's just a good way of getting more people to view your store and ultimately more clicks. And this is what you want. You want clicks. You want sales. You want people to find your items and then you want sales. That's what you want at the end of the day. Another reason why your products might not be selling is because there is no demand for your items. And it's just as simple as that. Like you can think in your mind, I have the most amazing product in the world and everybody needs this. But if nobody wants it or nobody's even looking for it, you're not going to get found. And that's just how it goes, unfortunately. Like, if there's no demand, you're not going to get sales. You could utilize like social media to try and push the reasons why people need this item. But like if there's no demand for it, it's very hard to get sales from that. And like I said, it's unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes. You can have product and then nobody wants it. It's not even nobody wants it. Nobody even cares to even look for it. Like, it's just like nobody cares. Okay, another reason why your product might not be selling is because you have no reviews whatsoever. And I understand, like, this is a catch-22. Like, how can I get reviews if I don't have no sales? But this is something you have to figure out. I don't know if you're going to get some friends to leave honest reviews. Like, when I say honest, I mean honest reviews about your products. Like, if they purchase from your store, they need to leave an honest review. And that will help people trust your store, because I don't think there are a lot of people who are willing to take that leap of faith into a new store and basically test whether their products are good as they say they are. And I think that's just how people are. They want somebody else to do it. So it builds a trust between the consumer and the store. So the more reviews you have, the more likely people are going to want to click on your items and purchase from your store. That's just how it works. That's just how all stores work, especially online stores. The more reviews something has, you've probably done it yourself. The more reviews something has, the more positive reviews that item has, the more likely that items are going to be sold, opposed to somebody who's selling the exact same items that have no reviews. That's just how it works, unfortunately. And so you need to get those first few reviews in. And I can't stress how important that is for your store. The reviews really do help when you are trying to sell new items on your store. Okay, this is the final reason, well, not the final reason in total, but the final reason for this video why your products might not be selling. And if you're still watching this video right now, I just want to thank you for watching. If you stuck around, thank you again. But the final reason why your products might not be selling, there's no way to sugarcoat this, is your products are just bad. Nobody wants to buy an item that they think is bad, or it's just really poor. And like, you know, I understand it's like handmade stuff, but if your items are just not good, people aren't going to want to buy them. I'm really sorry to say that, because nobody wants to hear that your items are like not very good. But that's just how it is sometimes. If your products aren't good, they're not going to sell. And you need people to be honest with you. Like, ask somebody, is this something you would buy? And like, don't get people to be like, yes, I would buy that. They're just saying this because they're your friends or your family. But like, really take a look at it and think, if this was in the store, would I buy it? Like, take yourself like all the emotions out of it. Like, if you saw this, would you be drawn to this? Like, would you want to pick this up? And if the answer is no, like, you got to be really honest with yourself. If the answer is no, why is anybody else going to buy it? And I'm sorry to say that, like, that is just how it is sometimes. It's just your products they're just not it. Those are just some of the reasons why your products might not be selling on Etsy, and some of the ways that you can fix those problems. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you want me to make a part 2, I can definitely do that. Just let me know in the comments below. And yeah, hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.